How's everybody doing? Career Appreciation Week rolls on Tuesday. Just having fun with my buddies and my community. Great to have everybody. I'm Andy. It's Career Appreciation Week because I love you. It's 11 o'clock Central in the U.S. and we're rolling every day, Monday through Thursday this week, gushing over you, helping you build a career you love. Hopefully you're opening your emails. For those of you on our email list, we're sending out gifts. Today we sent a resume submittal checklist. It's a pretty good one to help make sure you've got everything in order when you submit your resume. So I've got an announcement, a real quick one, because I want to let you know if you are on my email list and you're not getting these emails because I want you to get these emails, there's a couple of reasons why you're not getting them. Number one, they're going into your junk folder or spam folder, or Kara's telling me to wait. I'm going to say this again, Kara, a couple times. So I'll say it every 30 minutes. But the reason you're not getting the emails is they are likely going into your junk folder or your spam folder, and we are getting a lot of emails from Gmail users, and they're discovering that the email's actually in their promotions tab. So I just want to call that out. I'll mention it again in a half hour. And one other thing, if you are new to my community, normally, depending on how you enter my community, sometimes you get into these opportunities that we present, like a job search challenge or a master your craft challenge, where we're facilitating the challenge with you for a number of days in a row. You're getting emails from us to facilitate what you requested. If that's you, you might not be getting the normal weekly emails or now the daily emails this week. So I just wanted to let you know, if that's you and you feel like, hey, I want those emails, I'm not getting them, just send an email to support. We'll make sure we will add you, and you'll start getting barraged with daily emails for this Community Appreciation Week. All right, I will say that again in a couple of minutes when everybody gets in. Great to have you. I want to dive in, and I saw that you guys were piling in early. Some of my absolute faithfuls like Adam Stark and hey, Susan Kelly, who's a pretty good time, long time listener. Connie Cotter, Dana, great to have you guys. I see you're all front and center, and I want to get right to it with this, what I would say is an outstanding question from Adam Stark. And as a matter of fact, this question is so damn good that Stacy, can you do me a favor? You know, I know we clipped some of these out, but can you make a note? I actually want to turn the camera on and actually do a full on, maybe 20-minute on this one for the channel. I could talk for an hour and a half on this question alone, and it's deep. And in the Job Search Bootcamp, I do this, but I don't really have something on the public platform about this, about how to discover the red flags when you are joining a company. So let's do that. And as a matter of fact, Adam, because this question is so good, I want to come out fast. Let's give you a free course. I don't know which one of my courses you're in, but if you want to take your pick from the Resume Writing Masterclass or the Interview Intervention course, all you need to do is email us at support@milewalk.com, because I'm feeling really generous today. I'm going to give away as much stuff as I can, real good stuff. So if you've got a great question, I know we tried voting on things yesterday that was a little bit hard to navigate through, so I'm just going to throw them right out. So Adam, congratulations. Email us at support@milewalk.com. Let us know what you want. And let me get to this question. All right, so Adam's asking, I know you will never get the complete answers until the interview, but what are red flags to look out for when researching potential companies? The goal here would be to filter the good from the bad. Let's work your question backwards. Don't filter out companies before you talk to them. Okay? Do not do that. There is nothing out there in the internets that would make me not want to talk to people from the company to get their story directly. Okay, so let's kind of work this backwards. I don't want you to eliminate anybody. I don't care what the Glassdoor reviews say or what somebody you talked to because you connected up on LinkedIn and she didn't like her boss and whatever. This is you. You process have you ever had an experience in your life that you were not at the absolute center of? right? We process this world uniquely based on our experiences, based on our personalities, based on our mindset, our attitude, and all of that good stuff. I want you to hear it for yourself. I want you to investigate it for yourself. And just because someone else didn't like the organization doesn't mean you won't. Now, there are obviously stability issues, financial solvency issues, and other things that make a company operate. You want to know that it's going to be standing, which certainly you can investigate as part of the interview process. Now, the things that I look for when I'm researching a company is, and as a matter of fact, if you all are on my email list tomorrow, I don't know if we're ever going to clip this, but if wherever you're watching this, but tomorrow I'm actually giving you a 65-point job interview checklist. That's tomorrow's gift for Community Appreciation Week. In that checklist are a number of things that you should look at related to the company, the interviewers, all that good stuff before you go in. And I would say there's a section in that checklist that I'm going to repeat a few of the items here right now, but that is something you definitely want to grab if you're on my email list. We don't give that out otherwise, and we don't really ever give it out. We just do it for these very, very special occasions. So when I look at an organization and I look at the website, I'm trying to pick up clues about what the company would be like as a provider first. Okay, first thing is, do they have a great product and service? Does it feel like they would be a company you would want to buy from if you were buying the product and service? Most people don't think about that, right? Think about what I just said. You're looking at it with the employment lens. Look at it from the standpoint of, if I was a customer, would I want to buy something from this company? Is it a service? Is it a product? Is it a clothing store? Is it widgets, gadgets, whatever? Would I want to buy it, right? What does it look? Are there customer testimonials on the site? You go to my job search bootcamp, right? You're a customer. To me, there are testimonials. There are people that have happy success stories that are real, right? A lot of times organizations will have video testimonials. We do, right? We have written testimonials. We have all kinds of testimonials. So you should check that out. Look for employee testimonials. So not just bios, but is there something on the site where you can get a feel of how happy the employees are? Is there any recruitment news? Do they have any great employees, managerial people that are public figures or give speeches or have written books or are trendsetters and so on? I would look at where are they in the market and all that good stuff. Now, a lot of this is arming you for when you get in there to talk to them. And when you get in the interview, since you didn't ask this, but I think this is a really, really good extension for you. And here again, I could talk for a long time about the things that I would investigate, but some really biggies. Does the company have a direction? So what is their strategy? What's their go-to-market strategy? What's their product development strategy? What's their market strategy? What's their recruitment strategy? And so on. Do they have one? Number two, as you talk to the people across the organization, do they all know what that strategy is, and do they all agree on it? Are there philosophies in order? So are there cones pointing in the right direction? Do they know what success looks like? I've talked at length about this, right? So it's not just what does success look like for me in a year, right? A lot of you know that one of my killer questions that I want you to ask when you're in a job interview is, what does success look like exactly 12 months from now? What will you consider to be a success for the person who you hire for this role? Well, why can't you ask them that about the company? What would you consider success to be from a corporate standpoint in 12 months, and so on, and 3 years, and on, 5 years, if you want. That's okay to ask them the 5-year question. It's not okay for them to ask you the 5-year question. So things like that. Are employees happy? Is there a high turnover? Why are people leaving their jobs? Are they getting promoted within, or is everybody exiting? That kind of stuff. I can go on and on about this one, buddy, but do me the favor, keep your eye on your email tomorrow. We're sending that 65-point checklist, and some of what I just said is on there, and then some. So I hope that helps. All right, you be cool. Enjoy that course, whatever you are going to select. All right. Susan's giving some coaching. Connie Cotter, how are you? This is just too much. Connie Cotter, you know how you just make me smile. I'm glad to see you again because we never really get to see you. Stole my wife's cup today. Mamasaurus, you'll get your giraffes kicked. I didn't realize I had this until I just turned the camera on. But hey Dana, how are you? Connie Cotter got a question. All right, let me see if we can get this up here. Look at that. All right, 1 of 2. Organizational change is a part of life. My org does change in a big way. Almost weekly. Oh, goodness. Long-term objectives tend to remain constant. Okay. My team is young in age and experience. How can I help them focus on the long term and let the minutia of the daily squirrels pass by? They are getting stuck, and the words I have been using don't seem to sink in. Thanks much. Okay, this is a phenomenal question. Connie is a beloved boot camper and leader, and I just think this is a fantastic question for anybody. And this actually, even if you're in the interviewing process, as an extension of what Adam just asked us, same kind of thing. One of the things that I always coach people in doing, and I want to actually, Connie, I'm going to answer you, but for everyone else who's actively searching, this is a way for you to package up something. If you're managing people or if you're dealing with dissension on your team or any of that stuff, this same philosophy can be used to answer those kind of job interview questions. And what I always say is, all right, if there are people disagreeing on the team, and Connie, while they may not be disagreeing with each other, they're becoming distracted, which is a disagreement with what management is doing to them. What I always try to do is I always say to them, I genuinely think life happens for you, not to you. If the organization is making these changes, they're obviously doing it for a good reason. Our job is to make sure we're focused on the main goal. And the main goal is, and these organizational changes don't change our ability or our resources or our approach or our timeline or whatever is not being changed in achieving that goal, whatever that goal is, whether that's serving internally, the processes, the methodology that you are creating as part of your team for other units within the organization, or if you're doing anything that's affecting the outside customers, it really doesn't matter. So what I always get at when there's any disagreements with teammates or any disagreements that I'm having with somebody is, all right, I'm going to listen to you. Let's take it in. Let's understand how this is affecting us. What is your viewpoint? Why is that your viewpoint? Here's mine. And number one, is there a way that with this change or with this disagreement, substitute whatever you need there, can we make an even better solution? So every time something happens where two people are at odds or we're at odds with the organization, is there a way, instead of it has to be this way or that way, can it be both ways, and can we make it even better? Now, is there a better solution? And can we have both of it? Or is this presenting us an opportunity to do something even better that's in alignment with our goal? And you have to consider that and ask that question with the end goal in mind. So I would be bringing everybody back to, okay, well, here's our purpose. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. What can we do with this new information, this new, your approach, my approach, this new information that the company has handed us, whatever it might be, to make our solution to meet that goal better? That's always where I point things to. And to give you a piece of my life, that I look for ways to reach people. And a lot of the systems that I use to do that are not within my control. Social media systems change on me. Their algorithms change on me. Things I've invested in with time and effort that I put into those changes. Email systems, we have hiccups, things that are out of our control when I'm trying to send you stuff, all that kind of good stuff. So what I do each time, and any of you that run into these frustrating situations, is, okay, well, what can I do with this now? Based on what I know, and is it something that I'm going to file away, going to learn it for the long haul, and so on. So that is a very, very difficult situation that you're in if you're changing weekly. That seems quite odd. It seems that there's instability inside the organization, but without talking to you, I don't I don't know how I would address that other than focusing everybody in on the goal. All right, so I hope that helps. Connie Cotter, great to see you. Giovanni, how are you? Tony P. from Dunedin. Great to have you. And Anaheim Patty. Let's see what you got. Patty, come on. I told you if you changed your picture, I'd give you a course. Been in healthcare industry 24 years, bless your heart. Working as a biller, customer service, authorizations, and behavioral health. What title or descriptions do I use in the career profile section? So, you could use healthcare professional. You could use healthcare industry professional. You could use customer service professional. I would probably choose the one that most aligns me to where I want to go, not what I've been doing. Because you can also, in your core competencies, talk about billing, customer service, authorizations, adjudications, or whatever it is that you've done. And you could talk about domains. Domain expertise includes, I don't know if there's other sub healthcare market lines that you've worked in. I know you said behavioral health. There could be others, but that's what I would do. And I know what you're asking me here about, kind of that couple or 3-word descriptor, but I would align it with where I want to go. If you want to go into customer service, I would say customer service professional with 24 years in the healthcare industry, specializing in, if you want, behavioral health and so on and so forth. And then I would talk about your accomplishment, not all the other stuff, and I would drop that down into the second paragraph with the core competencies. All right, Patty, hope that helps. All right. Let's talk to Giovanni here. I'm a recent graduate, HCP hopeful. How do I handle communication between a part-time job offer not in field and interview for a full-time job in my field, going ahead with the part-time job while pushing for full-time? I don't know if you were saying, should I do that? That's what I would do. So I don't have an issue with those folks that are transitioning out of school, and you're in a role where you could be pouring the coffee at Starbucks, or bartending at the favorite local lounge, or working the tables, or not dancing on the tables, working the tables on in the diner or whatever. So that's cool. You got to do what you got to do. And if it's a part-time job, I would just keep doing it, and then I would, on my non-part-time hours, I would be focusing on my job search. And then I would obviously move on. That's not going to surprise the people that you're working with on a part-time basis. They know you're a recent graduate. You worked hard to get the degree. You want to use it. So that's my view there. I think you're in great shape. And if that statement there at the end is what you were thinking, for sure, go. Hey, Mom. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Sorry I haven't called. Evelyn O. Hey. AnnMarie B. AMB with the coffee. Due to my husband's line of work, I do not use my last name on my social media. Would this raise a red flag to prospective employers if they try to Google me? I hear this is common practice. Okay, so a couple things. I don't meet anybody that I don't Google. And I don't talk to anybody that I don't Google. Period. 100%. I don't go meet a friend or somebody that somebody introduced me to. I got to meet a new coach on Friday. I Googled her. Okay, so I looked at what she's done. That's just, we have the ability to do that. So now, if I look AnnMarie up and it's on LinkedIn, you're AnnMarie B, or I can't find you on LinkedIn, I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm going to be a little surprised if I'm the recruiter, you applied, and I looked you up and I can't find you. But number one, it's one thing for me to Google you and not find you. There are a lot of people that have gone to great lengths to protect their privacy. Respect that, no problem. I'm in the opposite line of work. I want to be found. So I do everything I can to get out and into the right spots. But I would like to see your LinkedIn profile, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. It does make you pause a little. I would not sweat this. I really would not. And my guess is, I don't know if your husband is, because this is common, somebody's in politics or something of that nature. They're worried about turning people off. Somebody's the head of a group, a union, a whatever. I know a lot of people who are careful about that kind of stuff, and you should be. And you should be, because you don't want you want to be evaluated based on you, right? I think that guilt by association stuff is not fair, even though people do it. But AnnMarie, hope that helps, and I would not really sweat it. All right, Sanjitha, how you doing? I'm looking for opportunities as HR program specialist, manager, HRBP, total rewards and comp, people analytics, HR data analyst. Who should I be contacting in my boss hunting process? The first thing I will recommend to you is I would focus on the things on the area that I want the most. If you are trying to prepare a resume that highlights all of those things, you are going to have a hard time unless somebody's looking for an HR generalist. You should be contacting HR. It's pretty simple and straightforward. And yes, somebody else might own, actually, a lot of what you're looking for, the HR unit will own that. They really will. Chief People Officer, Senior Vice President of Human Resources, HR Director, HR Vice President. Those are the people I would target. All right, people shuffling in. I was mentioning that if you are on my email list, we are giving away great goodies these days. Every day in the morning, 7 a.m. my time. Okay, it goes out. And if you are not getting those emails and you are not interested in getting those emails, no action required. If you are interested and you don't feel like you're getting them, 7 a.m. Central Time, you can figure out what that is like, what that is in your time zone. That email goes out like right as rain. So thanks for the British people for that expression. Today we gave away the ultimate resume checklist. Yesterday I gave away a digital and audio or full digital experience of my Out of Reach But In Sight book. If you are not getting those emails, please check your junk filter, your spam folder or whatever. And if you're in Gmail, I know a lot of people, it was going to their promotions tab. If you are new to my community and you entered into one of the gifts or giveaways that requires us to facilitate it for you, like the 5-day challenge or the 9-day Master Your Craft challenge, or something where you're getting emails for a number of days in a row, the last thing we wanted to do was pile more emails in your inbox, and we usually move you into our newsletter subscription when you complete that process. So if you are in the middle of that and you want to get these gifts, you got to email us at support, and we will be happy to add you and get you the gifts you missed. So hope that helps. I want them in your hands. So let me know. All right, I am moving on. Try to keep it to one question in a row, one question per. I'm trying to do the best I can because I know there's a lot of people here. All right, one or two. Evelyn O. This was brought up in an interview. How do you navigate the difference in culture when the founders are located in the UK and some employees are located in New York when it comes to justifying your need for funds for the New York location for things such as office events and perks? The culture in New York is somewhat similar to Google's. Bombas, Toms, thank you. You are welcome, Evelyn. So, honestly, Evelyn, I wish I could give you a standard answer for this. Every organization is different. What I would do is I would focus on the appreciation for the employee. Okay, so you are not going to win the argument running it on culture. Okay, yes, you do want a unified culture in an organization, regardless of the location and so on. However, different countries roll a little differently. There are subcultures even within the United States where you live, where the sales team has its own culture, the product development team has its own culture, and so on. So what I would do is I would appeal to the founder's sense of appreciation for the employees to show them. And if they are showing that type of appreciation in England or in the UK or wherever they are, then I would say it's important for us to do the same thing in New York. That's it. I would not. This is not a big argument that you should need to justify. And if it is an argument that you need to justify, I would question the kind of company this is, if that's the way that they think. So that's I don't have a long-winded answer on that one. That's how I would go about it. Hope that helps. Okay. See, Dana? When working, I'm efficient, not so much in job search. Oh, when working, I'm efficient, not so much in my job search. I'm a perfectionist and struggle with writing. Any tips to increase efficiency and get more done to progress faster as it's hindering program? Okay, so the fastest way to get over your perfectionist attitude is give yourself a deadline, then hit it no matter what. So what does that entail in a job search? You just went through the job search challenge. I know that because you communicated and you sent me messages inside the system. And that's what I'm talking about. 3 a day. It's got to go out. The perfectionist in you should be trying to combat, the perfectionism in general is it's really difficult for people who are perfectionists to actually get things done because they want it to be perfect before it goes out. To that, I always say you can't scale version 0, but you can scale version 1. So on Monday, you send 3 emails out and you watch their performance. If you want to tweak the copywriting and those kinds of things, be my guest based on your results. Now, we give you some templates. I give you some templates. I give you a couple of boss hunting cover letters. Folks in the boot camp, I give them 10 copywritten templates for any networking occasion. So all they have to do is drop their stuff right in my template. Now, I know you're not in the program, so you're going to have to rely on some of my public information. But even with that, you should be able to accelerate what you're writing as an initial interaction, and then if people are getting back to you, that's awesome. Then get right back to them. I would not be too concerned about making anything perfect. You are more the person who is more organized and more efficient and more, and I want to say deadline driven, but I want to be super clear about what I mean. The deadline isn't I have to find a job in 2 weeks or I have to find a job in 30 days. The deadline is it's Monday, I got to send 3 messages out to 3 unique people in 3 different companies. That's my deadline. Tuesday has another deadline, Wednesday has another deadline, and so on. Or Friday has a 15 communication deadline. That's what I mean by these are intermediary steps that are focusing you in on the things that you need to do that likely lead to results based on my stats, history, evidence, and so on. That's how I would focus. I would not be getting hung up on how perfect or artistic my networking email looks. So that is a psychological hurdle you're going to have to get over. But I would send those intermediary deadlines because if you are not hitting them, that's hurting your progress. And the fastest way to speed it up is to hit them. Hope that helps. Steve G, how you doing? Connie is a recovering perfectionist. Get version 1.0. I've told you guys this. Oh, speaking of, all right, my interview intervention book is free. The Outreach But Insight book is free. And free means I bought the book for you. It's sitting in a warehouse. I'm paying the guys for the warehousing fees so that they can pick it. And then I pay for the envelope that they pack it in. And then I pay for the shipping to send it to you. Some of you, it cost me $30 just to send the book, not even to make the book. Some of you, it costs me less when you're in the United States. Regardless, I pay for a lot of that stuff. I ask you to chip in $7 shipping and handling. The reason I mention this is, number one, I want you to have the book, but number two, do you know I put version 1.0 of my book campaign, we call it, right? Give the book away, in April of 2018. And I had this long, grand plan of certain things that I wanted to do as part of that program. But the first thing that I said is, well, I just got to get the damn book out. So I shot a video really quick. And if you go to the book page, that video was shot in March of 2018 or April of 2018. And I said, oh, I'll just go fix it later. And then I'll make it a little more sophisticated, and I'll invite them to more stuff, and we'll make a book club, and we'll do all this stuff. People that hit the page that don't then opt in, I'll zip back with them. Guess how much of version 1.1 is done? 0. But guess how many people have taken that book? Tens of thousands. So get it out. Get it out. All you perfectionists, you can't scale version 0, okay? You can always enhance the first draft. Us writers, we call it, you can't edit a blank page. It's the same thing. So get it out there. Take a lesson from Connie Cotter. All right. Put some question marks in front of your questions. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what you need, and all that good stuff. Okay, Daniel R., how much leverage does an internal candidate have for salary negotiation? I'm assuming that's what you meant. Would you recommend applying to counsel you have given? Would you recommend applying the counsel you have given for internal positions? Yes, 100%. Every single one of you should negotiate your raises and your promotions. Why would you not? Why would you not? Yes, you can be appreciative. I would apply every single one of them. True story, I told the story the other day, maybe it was last Thursday on Live Office Hours. I was telling it because I think the day before, might have been Wednesday. It was Wednesday, the night before. I literally had a coaching session with somebody in my job search boot camp. She'd gotten a new job 14 months prior and was about to get a promotion. Her name's Karen, and big time director. And we literally had a coaching session to negotiate the raise. So yes, 100% use the tactics for sure. And the one tip I'm going to give you, Daniel, because you asked this question, is I want you to go through your argument about why you're awesome and why you deserve more money and all that good stuff. Okay, go through all of that and really lay it on. Right? There's evidence of your performance and the impact that you've made, and you should be accumulating all of your accomplishments, just like you were putting your resume together, just like you were going to be interviewing for a new job with a different employer. And then one of the tactics that I want you to do, if the call is not, or if the interaction or the video session or the call or the in-person meeting is not going as you would expect and they are not giving in, one of the things that you should do is, and I don't know what your position is, but in Karen's case, I told her, I want you to ask them to envision how they would have to accommodate for handling these responsibilities if she wasn't doing them. And she was in a position that they probably would have had to hire 2 people to handle, truly, especially because the geography she was managing was so diverse, and it was in different countries, in different spots in the U.S. Now, I don't know what you do, but if you took you out of the equation, where would that leave them? And I don't mean to say it in a threatening manner. Just say, hey, if you had to rebuild the team for my position, what would you do? Wouldn't it require a person and a quarter, a person and a half, 2 people? Isn't it worth the extra whatever kind of thing? You cannot imagine how penal it is for an employer to lose somebody they love. To lose anybody. But to lose somebody they love, you've got the knowledge that walks out the door. You got the known commodity that walks out the door, probably somebody they like. You've got now to get somebody in the job who they have to train, pay the recruitment process, whether they pay a recruitment fee or whether they pay for the recruiter's time internally to now spend time and energy, all the interviewers that have to step in to interview that pulls them out of their day job and so on. I mean, this is very painful. So believe me, that's usually like throwing a bucket of cold water on their face. So I would yes to your answer, and yes, I would do that for sure. Great question. Can we give Daniel a course? Daniel, we'll give you the you can have the resume writing masterclass, or you could have the interview intervention course. And in the interview intervention course, there is some negotiation tactic stuff in there. So enjoy that, my friend. That was great. All right. You're welcome for that. Email support@milewalk.com. We get your emails, so make sure you send it. Uh-oh. Look at Handsome John. That's what I call him. Look at that guy. Always smiling. I got stumped today. Question was, what do you not want in your next job? Took me a minute. What would your best answer to this be? And what was the intent behind this question? Okay, John, love this one, buddy. Okay. This is I want to tell you guys this. Okay, couple things. You know the question, what's your greatest weakness? And I've shot a video on this. It's out there. You can go check it out. That question is a terrible question for an employer. It's just flat out stupid for so many reasons. It's so stupid, I'm not even going to address why it's so stupid. But employers who ask you what you do not want, that's as equally brilliant as the other one is stupid. Okay? And let me tell you why. This is a way to get your immediate reaction of either one of two things. They got a 50-50 shot of getting what they want, but they really got a 100% shot. But this is a disguised what's your greatest weakness. Okay? So let's take that one first. Think about all the things that you do in your role that you do not want. And if maybe you're a technologist and you don't really love the selling part and you don't really want to be involved in, pre-sales or whatever. And you say, well, I don't want a job that's heavy in pre-sales and blah. They're going to immediately know, right, that that's probably a weakness, or it's really not something you're good at, but at a minimum, you don't like it. So you're not going to be as great as you could be. All right, that is a way to flush that out. Now, the other part of that is you may just say, well, I want to make sure that now it's also a way of saying, what do you want in your next job? Why? Because you are going to answer all the negatives and then they're going to flip them over. So you might say, well, I don't want a boss who's a micromanagement or a micromanager. I don't want a management team who doesn't communicate. I don't want an organization who doesn't appreciate its employees and doesn't compensate them annually for blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. Okay? So now they're also seeing, oh, okay, well, he needs that, he needs that, he needs that. It's another great way to get that information. Phenomenal question. Beautiful question, really. Very smart. And so that's the intent. My answer would have been that, now, here's how you fool them. I want to make sure that I have a job where I get to do a lot of this. And this is the skill you're awesome at and the skill they need. Okay? Sell to the gap. We talked about this. I've coached you on this, John. So I would want to make sure that any position that I had was not void of that. Do you see what I just did? I gave them nothing. I gave them nothing. I told them, I'm awesome at this. You need this. My next job better not be void of that. And I just told them nothing. Okay? That's the best answer. The best answer is you talk about what you want and just say it needs to be present, but you need to make dang sure that you are saying what is on that job description. Whatever that is, pick the top two things. I need a job that does this. I need a job that has high customer service contact that allows me to really get in the weeds with the So the thing I would not want is a job that was void of that. Okay? That's how you answer that question. All right, buddy, hope that helps. You want to talk more about that? We got later in the week, we got the boot camp on Friday with you. Speaking of, couple things. We've got a job search boot camp private coaching session on Friday at 11 So basically the Friday session is with the boot campers. And I am going through a very special teaching session with them about how to create opportunities when you are feeling stuck. I have a skill. I'm not sure how to advertise it. I have a wider range of skills. I'm not sure how to surface options. I'm not sure how to advertise this for employers. I've tried everything. I'm not getting responses. Anything that is causing you to feel confused and stuck, I'm going to give you a formula that I take you through different steps of the way that you can think about what it is you can offer and how it is you can approach the market. It's going to be beautiful. There's a special on the bootcamp through Friday, so get in there. You got any questions about it, support@milewalk.com. If you're wondering the level of depth in the difference, that resume submittal checklist that we gave you today is a fraction of what the boot campers get. What's not really spelled out in all the minutia in the public version of that checklist, for example, is all the steps with the applicant tracking system and everything that you need to do and how to understand the keywords and all the things that you need to check. That goes on and on. So the difference between a lot of the stuff that you see that's in the public domain in the bootcamp is the packaging, the sequencing, the order, the structure, and so on, but the level of depth in the instruction and the tools. But the other thing that's there is the on-point interaction that you can have with me on a daily basis inside the system. I answer your questions in the program, and we have the 24 plus live sessions throughout the year that you get lifetime attendance at for one enrollment, so you don't have to keep paying to come back. So we have people who go out on contracts, they go 6 months, they finish it up, and they come back. We have others that join us for the sessions for their career development questions. It's great. I mean, it's fun. We have a minimum of 1 to 2 a month, and then we have these clusters throughout the year where I do 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, one a week for a month or something like that. So check it out. We'd love to have you. I know there are a number of boot campers here. If you want to share your experience, give the folks some insight. Love any kudos you want to share or perspective you want to share, what you've gotten out of it, how much it's helped you with your confidence and those kind of things. I think y'all don't need to take my word for it. There's a lot of people that can give you their opinion about what it's done for them. And John and Cotty are a couple of them. And hey, Susan, how are you? Jocelyn. Let me see. What do we got here? Jocelyn Barriel. Hey, Andy, how do I handle my title being different from what I actually do? I am at a senior level for skills and leadership, yet my title is only a senior specialist. Okay, Jocelyn, fantastic question. When you fill out your resume, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to lie, and you don't want to alter your title without clarifying if you've altered it. You also can do a couple of things. You could use if your titles. So let me answer a couple of variations of your question, because I know there's some people out there that they have a title, but it's an internal title and it doesn't really mean anything externally. Like they're called, System Engineer 3, and no one knows what that means. It might be a system engineer, could be architect, could be a data engineer, could be a variety of things. If that's you can package your title, whatever it's called, internally, and then you could put in parentheses next to it, externally known as, and then put what is the commonly known title. You can do the opposite. You can put System Engineer 3 you could put whatever the external title is and say known internally as System Engineer 3. That's if your title doesn't really say anything. Now you're a senior specialist, but you're handling more. So maybe you're handling senior manager stuff, senior analyst stuff, senior director stuff. I don't know what the appropriate title is, but you can say senior specialist is your title. Then underneath your title, I recommend that you have a little paragraph. The paragraph gives you literary license to basically show the scope of your responsibilities, your accomplishments, and so on. And you can use it like like bullets, but in a paragraph form. And what you can do there is you can actually say, hold senior level, whatever responsibility such as, and then you can talk about what you're doing. And then you want to make sure that you got the accomplishments in there and the benefits that your company is realizing as a result of you doing what you did. Remember, every time you put a bullet in there, you always want to answer the question, what happened as a result of me doing what I did? Meaning, what was the outcome? What was the ultimate accomplishment and benefit? Okay, not just the activity. But, Jocelyn, for you, you can calibrate kind of the reviewer's understanding of the level that you're dealing with, right? Even though you don't have the internal title, by putting, something of a quasi job description in that little title. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't want a paragraph like this. You just want a tight one. But that's a way to accommodate that. That's a phenomenal question. Can we, I don't know if I said this already, but can we give her a class too? So Jocelyn, can you email support@malwalk.com and we'll be happy to give you the resume writing. Actually, you know what, Jocelyn? If you don't have the resume writing masterclass, can I give that to you for free? Because what I just said, I go into these exceptions like this and it's in the program. And so you can have that, but if you'd rather have the interviewing course, you can have that too. I mean, you can have either one, whichever one you choose. So hope that helps. All right, let me see. Where are we at? Stephanie Delaney, how are you doing? All right, let's get this up here. Stephanie's asking, what tips do you have for case interview type questions? Is it true that there is no right, wrong answer and they are just looking at how you think about a problem or something different? Okay, I just want you to remember these 3 words. Show your work. Okay, so going back to what you're asking me, is it true that there is no right or wrong answer? That's not true. There is wrong answers. There are many right answers, but there are a lot of wrong answers as well. So they may ask you, okay, let me give you a case study. You were an account manager for a large consultancy. So I'm going to give you something close to your home, Stephanie. So let's say you were going to take a director role and they were going to ask you to build out a team of directors across the U.S. And the case study was, we want to know how you would go about building out the team. And we, you get to start from scratch. And if you just said, okay, well, I would go to the main city and I would hire, I would put this criteria together. I would try to hire the best people and so on and so forth. I would say that's a dead wrong answer. If you said, well, if I was going to build out a team and I needed to come up with X number of people, maybe we can agree on the number of people you want me to hire. Let's say 7. Okay, great. Let's say 6. Let's cut the United States where you live into 6. So 3 at the top on the north side, 3 at the top, or 3 at the bottom on the south side. And let's say we were probably going to have coverage area like that. Well, the first thing that I would want to do is I would want to understand right now where our customers are that need to be accounted for. And I would want to look at and segment them based on their VIPs, their middle of the road customers, or their kind of one-time, low level of revenue customers. Then I would also triangulate where our best opportunities are. Where are the geographies where we don't have the revenue that we should have because there's opportunity of people that would buy our product and so on and so forth. You start going through it like this and then then I would sequence it and prioritize it based on this and that. That's the right answer. All right answer. Okay? So I gotta explain, well, I wouldn't just start in the Northwest because I think that's where all that tech stuff goes on. Well, it may, but you may have a lot more people in the Southeast that favor your product that you need to service, that are where you're losing customers. Well, get somebody over there. You know what I mean? So there's a process and a sequence in which you want to take them through. And I just showed my work. I said, well, we're going to segment so that I know and I have the data. Then I'm going to make a decision. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to hire that person. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do that, and so on. Maybe I'm building out an architecture team. We have 5 skills that we need. Well, I got to hire all 5 of them? Great. I'm going to go, I'm going to look at everybody. Now I'm going to take one pin down. Now I got 4 left. Then I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like something like that, that you that you want to do. And the first person that I hire is probably going to be the person that I need, but it has to have versatility, has to have more than one skill. You know what I mean? Like, you got to talk it out. That's the best way to go about it. Yes, there are lots of right answers and there are lots of wrong answers, for sure. Hope that helps. All right, where are we at? Let me see. It seemed like we got a lot of... Oh, hey, Mare, boot camper Mary. Marcy, good to see you again. Here we go. Hey, Andy, working on a resume. Watched a lot of your videos. Thank you for your attention. This is why we do these community appreciation weeks. Over the years, I have not kept track of metrics, dollars collected, revenue recovered. What is the best way to go about it? Marcy, the best way to go about it is to get my career achievements journal. Well, there's two ways to go about it. The really fast way is to go and get my career achievements journal. There is a video out there on YouTube about how this one tool will help you get promoted or something. I can't remember. How this resume building tool will help you get promoted. I don't know what I called it. Google me in Career Achievements Journal. And then I highlight the 14 pieces of information that you need to collect on each project. Now, I recognize that you said that you did not remember this. But the first thing is you got to start with, what do I need to collect? What do I actually need to collect? Because some of this other data you're probably going to remember, or you could take a pretty good guess. Then on the revenue, on the numbers, on the number of team members, on the number of customers, on the number of different types of customers, you got to take a pretty good guess. And over 10, over 100, precise numbers are better, like 103. But over 100 is good. Over 90 is okay. That still constitutes. Make a guess. The most important thing is you are making a fair and educated guess from what you can recollect. But the most important thing about what you put on your resume, Marcy, is that you can back it up. So I'm not going to argue with you if it was 90 or 120. If your stories say she knows what she's talking about, I totally get that. She's rolling. I can see how this person managed 90 people, 120 customers, raised $10 million, whatever it is. I'm not going to argue. The point isn't to nitpick your resume. The point is to talk to you to make sure that you got the goods that you said you had on your resume. Don't write, I can speak French on your resume if you can't speak French. Write that kind of thing. And if you can speak a little French, say, rudimentary knowledge. Not fluent in English, Hungarian, and whatever. So that's what I would do there, and I hope that helps. But Career Achievements Journal is what you need. And actually, I think you can grab it right from the front page of the Mile Walk Academy. I think that's one of the 6 we have on there, and Kara can tell me if it's not. All right. Chunmin, hey from San Fran to you, my boot camper. And Carrie Freeman, how are you? Great. Draft away. Good morning to you, Kelly. Rose Petal. Let's see. I think this is a question. Rose Petal, what do you write in an email when applying for a job? Rose Petal, depending on the type of job you're applying for, I would go to my channel and look at my cover letter playlist. And there are a few goodies for a variety of occasions. And I think you'll get some hits there with some of the sample cover letters. Let's check those out. All right. Hey, Tom Phillips, AnnMarie Lynch, how are you? Ingrid Giles, how are you doing? E. Parker, I'm not sure what you're getting at here. Hi and thank you. Love it all. Great to have you. Do you put on your CV you left because the position was not suitable with your career? E. Parker, good question about what to and not to put on your CV or resume. You do not need to put any reasons. No reasons, no explanations on your resume. The only exception is if you are returning to the workforce after an absence and you would like to clarify that you are returning to the workforce after 5 years of family care or whatever, that's okay. I would put that in the career profile. I would not explain why I left any jobs at all on the resume. Hope that helps. All right. I see SoCal DA. I see a statement. I don't see the question. All right. Chunmin sent the boss hunting email directly to the hiring manager last Friday. Okay, a few days back. Tracked the email status. Awesome. He opened my email 3 times on the same day. Shall I keep waiting before following up? So wait, let me see if you've got another one. I'm not... Okay, let me ask this one. Let me answer this, because this is a standalone question. It's Tuesday. Friday was less than 2 business days away, right? I would wait. And on Friday, 7 calendar days, I would email him back a very short email. Hey, wanted to follow up on this. See if you're still interested, see if you're interested in connecting. Okay, that's it. Want to follow up on my email from last Friday? Wondering if you are interested in connecting. That's it. I don't care how many times he opens it. You have to, folks, you got to remember this. I get all these emails, and I have a big 27-inch monitor. I can see, 20 emails all at once. And I take my cursor and I go, and I slide down. And it looks like I'm opening them and it's like a millisecond. Or I hit it and the dog barks and then I turn around. My wife comes in, she says hello. It sits there and it looks like it's open. And I didn't even look at it. And then I go down and I look at things. I'm looking for certain things. Sometimes you're sending emails to our support queue. I'm opening it. Kara's opening it 4 times. We don't then she's saying, hey, are you going to answer this? And all kinds of stuff gets done. An administrative assistant or an executive admin or somebody else could be opening the email. You just never know. Now, it is a good tool, but it's not perfect. So in this case, I wouldn't sweat it. On Friday next week, I would just send them another one. All right, then you had another part here. The recruiter for the same position is also public on LinkedIn job post. When should I contact her if not hearing back from the boss, or shall I do that at all? Fantastic question. First thing I would do, since you know the boss, or we suspect, opened the email. Let's just say he did. Friday, contact him again. Give him another couple days, say by Wednesday of the following week, go directly at the recruiter. That's it. Now, if the hiring official gets back to you and says, hey, Chunmin, thank you for the email. Would you do me a favor and put your resume in the applicant tracking system? You say, thank you very much. I will be happy to do that. I noticed, I want to be really specific. I noticed on LinkedIn, it appeared as though so-and-so is the recruiter in charge of this position. Is that true? I want to confirm, because after I put it in the applicant tracking system, I would like to follow up with him or her, in a week or so to see if they've had a chance to review it. Okay. Now what you do is, if they, regardless of whether he confirms that or not, you put it in the applicant tracking system, you give them a few days. You then email the recruiter and say, hey, I wanted to follow up on my application submission. So-and-so, whoever told you, asked me to put it in the applicant tracking system, so I wanted to follow up with you to see if you had a chance to review it. What you just said is true. You didn't say you know him. You said so-and-so told you to put it in, and they did. Now you call your attention to your application if the recruiter does not respond to you. So you do that. Now, if all y'all out there are boss hunting, and the boss replies to you and says, can you please put it in the applicant tracking system? You say, yes, thank you very much. I will do that right now. Would you be open to, can you let me know who's responsible for recruiting for this position so I can follow up with them in a week or so just to make sure they've had a chance to look at my resume? Go ahead and take a shot. They may or may not, the boss who you hunted may or may not get back to you. That's fine. Doesn't matter. If they do, wonderful. Follow up with the recruiter in a couple days. If they don't get back to you, they don't give you a name, you hunt down the recruiter and you send the recruiter a message and say, so-and-so told me to put my resume in the applicant tracking system. I wanted to see if you had a chance to review it. It's okay to do that. Take a shot. Okay, if you're not getting any response, it's okay to do that. Okay, do whatever you can control to stimulate their interest. Okay, hope that helps. That's a great, great question, my friend. Thank you for being an awesome boot camper. All right, wait, SoCal DA. Let me see if I could piece this together. Was offered a job yesterday morning. Congrats on that. Did not use that opportunity to negotiate as I focused on interviewing him further. All right, so you got an offer. They have put in writing and sent it to me with the benefits information. They didn't call my references. They told me I have some of the experience they were looking for. Okay. Do I still have the opportunity and time? Do I still have the opportunity to negotiate? Do I still have time and any leverage? Yes. You haven't done anything yet. You haven't even started the negotiating process. Go ahead and negotiate according to all the stuff I put on my salary negotiation playlist. Hope that helps. Go get them. Kelly Fernandez from Chicago. SoCal D, sunny wine country. Oh, man. Shelly, I don't know if it's Bon or Bone. New name to me. I was included in a large layoff recently. Any words of advice on how to address that during interviews? Yes. Shelly, just tell them, I was a part of a large layoff. That's it. That's the easiest. Wait, so I'm sorry that you got laid off. That stinks. But as far as explaining what happened, my company was going through a restructuring. They removed this entire unit. They removed this entire division. They removed 4,000 people. That's no problem because it's different than, my boss came in the other day and surgically fired me for performance. You almost don't over-explain that. The company was going through a rough time. If they're laying people off, they're going through a rough time, or there's a unit that they no longer feel is strategic in their future, whatever it might be. That's it. No problem. Don't complicate it. It's a simple explanation. Okay, how are we doing on time? All right, 12 o'clock. Public service announcement. If you are not getting our emails, please check the junk filter, the spam filter, the promotions tab, you Gmail users. A lot of times it goes to promotions. We want you to get the emails so you get the gifts. But if you are new to my community and you entered in maybe on one of the challenges or something that requires us to give you a number of emails in a row, we try to wait until that process is over to put you in the weekly circulation of the newsletter digest and some of these other emails that we send to my entire community. But if you feel you are not getting those emails, just email us at support, and I or Kara will be happy to add you. When I say I and Kara, I mean Kara will be happy to add you to our list. And can I get, oh man, 199 of you, and I love it. God bless you all. You guys are awesome. You know what? I wish. All right, well, you're going to have to do this for me because I don't have a like button for you guys. So if you are loving this, hit the little thumbs up button. YouTube loves the juice. They love the action. And share it with folks. Let people know. Yes, I would love all of you to sign up for my Job Search Bootcamp, but I mean, I can help a lot of people. I really can. So the more the merrier. And maybe some of you don't share it because you want to make sure I get your questions answered. But give the abundance theory. Please, people, there's enough of me to go around. I ain't gonna stop talking. All right, let's see. Victoria, how are you doing? And somebody just thumbs downed me. That's great. I get such a kick out of the thumbs downs. I do. I get a ton of hate mail. I don't know. I've let a lot of people not happy with this world. But I feel badly for the thumbs down people. I just do. I really do. All right, Victoria. Should you respond to an employer after you interviewed and they send you an email saying they will get back to you soon? So, Victoria, if you interview with, it doesn't matter, on the phone, if you interview with them in person, interview with them with a video interview, whatever it might be, meaning there's actually somebody on the other side of the camera, always ask, what are the likely next steps? When will those be? Who will I hear from, and when might I hear from them? That will give you an indication of and help manage your expectations about when they should contact you. If they say, hey, we'll get back to you in a week, you say, okay, cool. You give them a week, then give them a couple extra days of buffer, just kind of grace. And then you can follow up with them again and say, hey, I know, when I was last in there or when we last talked, you mentioned it might be a week. I just thought I'd check in. That kind of stuff. Now, if you do not know and you forgot to ask, you didn't ask, or they said, hey, I really don't know, I just work here, and you want to press them a little because you want to try to get some kind of indication, like when might the next one be, like what's the usual process and so on, who usually gets back to us, is it the recruiter, and so on. But if that's the case, you haven't heard from anybody within 7 days, I would 7 days later, I would just send an email. Just say, hey, I want to check back in. I'm really interested in the opportunity. I'm wondering if you know what the next steps are. If you do not know what the next steps are, could you please let me know when you might know? When might I hear back from you? You want to make sure you give them a call to action so that they need to respond to you. A lot of times, well, let's just say this. You have more than doubled your chance of getting an immediate response if you ask them to speculate or you give them a call to action, even if they don't know. Because now what I'm going to do is, it's already been a week, right? So I'm going to say, hey, Victoria, I'm still waiting on the hiring official. I'm likely apt to give you something to make you not follow back up. Meaning, I want to let you know I'll get in touch with you when we're ready. So what I'm more apt to say is, hey, I'm going to try to chase down the hiring official. He's out of town. He usually gets back to me within a day. I should know something in the next couple days, but rest assured, I will get back to you as soon as I know. Or something like that. They're going to probably give you some information. They're not going to just say, hey, we'll get back to you when we get back to you. They just won't. They just won't. Most people don't behave that way. Even employers that don't get back to you. All right, hope that helps. Bulldog. Andy, Estonia is full of startups, some of which are absolutely awesome and grow into large enterprises. What would be your advice on how to research a startup? This is a great question. Okay. All right, Bulldog is asking, how would I research a startup? The same way I would research any other company. Now, Bulldog, I don't know if you are in my job search bootcamp, but in my job search bootcamp, I have a separate session, like a portion of a module on how to evaluate small to medium-sized companies, of which a startup is. And there are a couple things that you want to make sure that you are evaluating. So I'm not going to go into all the general stuff. Is it a good company? Is it a good product? Is there a market for it? And so on. You got to do that for any company. Okay? But with startups, the things that I would definitely make sure that I evaluated, how are they funded? Do they actually have money from the outside? Or is it the owner or owners or partners putting in the money? Okay, that's very key to know, okay, because if it's their own money you can be pretty sure they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that thing's successful. It's just a good sign. It's not a guarantee. If they have outside money, there's a different kind of pressure. You have to answer to shareholders, or basically the private equity company, the outside investors, the angel investors, whoever it might be, and they want their money back. So you're gonna have to perform, and there's gonna be some heat on you. Now, from there, you can look to see, okay, well, do we plan on taking on debt? If we do, how much? How's the debt gonna be used? All of these things matter. These are very fair questions. And if they will not answer them, do not go and work there. A startup should be very, very transparent about that kind of stuff. That's the biggest issue for me is how are you financially stable? And the second biggest issue for me, actually these are tied. The second biggest issue for me is, what is your strategy? And let me be really specific. Where are we going with this company? Okay, just get them talking. If their answer is, well, I plan to build it up and in the next couple of years, sell it or get private equity funding or whatever, I'm out the door. I don't need to talk to you anymore. If that's your goal, why? Because if that's your goal, you will operate with that goal in mind. While I would love for that goal to happen, and I would love to be a part of that as an executive in your company, and I would love to make a bundle of money, if that's the way we're going to operate, we're going to do a lot of things poorly. If they say, well, look, I want to build this company, and I would like to sell it one day. But our real focus is to build a product that adds a tremendous amount of value to this industry, because there's such a need for this, and the research that we've used to determine that is, and the evidence that we have that substantiates it is, and so on. And then we're going to kick butt. We're going to get the right people on this bus. We're going to drive it in the right direction. We're going to work it. And then we'll start to, kind of put feelers out. That's a company I want to go to. Okay, because that company will be focused on the product and the service and the foundational stuff that, guess what, makes a company a good target. But somebody who's got hollow earnings, a ton of debt, is not treating its employees well, turnover will be a real issue if the goal is EBITDA only. Okay, right? Every company's goal is to have EBITDA in order, but at what cost? Are the employees running out the door because you don't have work for them, or you're treating them poorly or whatever? So those are the kind of things I would anchor on if it's a startup, for sure. Great question, Bulldog. All right, let's see how we doing here. 12:11. Let's get some more questions answered. Let's see. I think it's just a little chitty chat going on. All right, Lady Arcana 55. I had to put my career on hold to care for my mother when she was diagnosed with cancer. I'm so sorry. I hope Mom is okay. 5 years later, I am trying to get back into my field. How do I address that in my resume? Lady Arcana, very simply, if you got the Andy LaCivita resume template, there's 2 paragraphs in the career profile. I also have some videos out there on the career profile. In the last sentence of the second paragraph in the career profile, which will be this far down on the page, over here on your whatever right side, my other right? The last sentence could be returning to the workforce after, family caretaking for the recent 5 years. That's it. And then your resume is going to say something to 2015, something like that. So simple. That's it. Answers everything. They might say, I hope everything's okay. Is there anything you want to share about that? Or what's really fair game to you is, what have you been doing in addition to caring for Mom or your family? Have you been staying sharp? Have you gotten any certifications? Are you volunteering? What are you doing? That's all. I'd want to know that. I'd ask that. That's fair game. I also have a video out there on how to handle employment gaps. Check that out, because I cover resume stuff, I cover interview stuff, I cover cover letter stuff in that one. Hope that helps. Great question. Susan Kelly. Okay, wait. Come on, baby. You've been following me for a while. Andy, you convinced me to sign up for your emails again. Damn, you are a good persuader. No. I put this up here because obviously that's a very nice remark. But I want to tell you guys something. Let's take a little 2-minute timeout here. 2-minute timeout. This is for you guys. I'm gonna talk about me. I'm gonna talk about you. In my life, I got this boot camp, right? My job search boot camp. It's my signature program. Right now it's the most expensive thing in the Mile Walk Academy, but it's the highest value. Now, your job in life, my job as a business owner, and your job in life as a professional, as an expert at whatever you do. It is not my job to lower my prices so that I could try to appeal to more people to buy that program. It is my job as a business owner, as a salesperson, to show you the value that that product will create for you and then sell it at a good price where you feel you're getting more value. So I'm not going to go and try to compete and commoditize my stuff. For you, you get in these job interviews, right? You're going to go talk to those employers. It is not your job to bend on what you think you're worth. Your first goal is, throughout the entire process, to be thinking about how do I position myself to show how much value I'm going to contribute to you as an employer. And do the right things along the way in the interview or recruitment process so you're not shooting yourself in the foot. So when you come down to the end and you do have to negotiate what your rate is going to be, you do not have to bend. Or you do not have to dig yourself out of a hole because you gave them a lower rate at the beginning and now you're trying to raise it. Or you gave them a decent rate at the beginning and now they want to keep you there, but you want to raise it. You need to show them the value you are going to create. And for those of you that are internal, and I think somebody had asked this question earlier about negotiating their internal promotion or salary, same kind of thing. It is not your job to just take what the employer gives you. You've got to show them why they're worth it. You got to be ready for them to kick back to you, say either we don't think that, or there's no money, or whatever the case may be. Then you decide, right? But Susan Kelly, I'm glad that you are in. And the last thing I want to say, one more thing about your job searches. Me and you again. My boot camp. I am not going to try to sell my job search boot camp to people who are not open-minded about enrolling in online training and coaching. They don't want to pay for it. They don't have the money. All of that stuff is fine. I totally get it. You can come to my free shows. Okay? It is not my job to chase you. It is not my job to try to persuade you. That is not time well spent for me. I would rather go and find people and attract people who are open-minded and willing to do that. Now, you don't have to find me and then buy it in one day. Follow me for a week. Follow me for a month. Follow me for a year. Get comfortable with me. Same kind of thing with you. You college students that are graduating, that are going out for your first job. Don't try to convince somebody, an employer who doesn't believe in hiring somebody and training them, or open-minded about the skills that you actually bring, even though you don't have any on-the-job work experience. For you career changers, don't go try to convince somebody that they should take a chance on you if they're not open-minded about doing that. It is the same thing. You people deal with the same problems I deal with every single day. You just deal with them from a different angle. Do not do that. Your time is better off sending out messages to other employers who will embrace you with open arms. Don't get hung up on somebody not getting back to you for 2 weeks. Who cares? Who cares? You should be on and pursuing other people until you find the right one. Okay? So I hope that message inspires you to do that. You should never lower your rate. It's your job to make the argument that you are worth it. You should never try to convince somebody who's not a buyer of you that they need to buy you. Yes, the greatest salespeople in the world can show people they have latent pain and why this is important to buy this product. But I'm telling you, as somebody in your job search or developing your career, your time is better finding somebody who's going to embrace you for the skills you have. Please do that for me. Okay, I'm going to help you along the way as much as I can. And if you're in the boot camp, Susan Kelly, I'm going to help you more. Okay, so I appreciate that. And I look forward to supporting you on your journey. And I look forward to supporting all you guys. I can't thank you enough for being part of my community. I love this. I live for this stuff. All right. Vita. I don't know that I've ever seen your name. Thank you, Andy, for your support. I just moved to Germany and am feeling my way around. Your videos have helped me take the first crucial steps towards finding a job. I love it. You know, we had a number of boot campers that moved from different places, like from the UK to Germany. We had one woman, Rachel, move from South Korea to Germany. I don't know what's going on in Germany, but a lot of people want to be there. Great to have you. All right, Carrie Freeman, what do we got here? Okay, love this question. All right, let me see. Carrie Freeman, Andy, how do you write a handwritten thank you note without repeating what you said in your thank you email? Okay, so let's back up one quick step. Andy LaCivita, rules of thank you card and thank you email writing. I got a template out there. Actually, there's one on page 83 of interview intervention. There's also a template that I think I carved out of that page and made a free download as well, either which way. You want to thank them for their time. You want to give them a paragraph in, so first little section, middle section, why you are the right candidate for the job. That's the money paragraph, not how much money you want, but the fact that you are going to sell yourself. And then the third paragraph is your enthusiasm, excitement, and looking forward to the next steps, right? You're more interested now that you have more data on them, more information, and off the email goes, because two things are essential in email or in thank you emailing: speed and thoughtfulness. You want to get it to them quickly. The faster, the better. Okay? However, I don't want you to send it fast if it's not thoughtful. You need speed and thoughtfulness. Okay? So yeah, send it in an hour if you can put an appropriate one together. If not, 5 hours is good, 10 hours is cool, 20 hours is cool. Just send it within a 24-hour window. Sooner's better, but don't sacrifice speed or thoughtfulness in any regard. I also don't want you to send it 4 days later and give them a book, right? That's maybe thoughtful and heartfelt, but it's not fast enough. Now, send the email right away within that window. Then I love sending a handwritten card later in the process or earlier in the process. Let's take both of them. If you're early in the process and you know there are other candidates involved, go through your initial interviews, and then in that window where they've informed you, hey, we've got some other people and so on, you drop the thank you card in the mail so that it gets mailed snail mail. And so a few days or a week later, what do they got on their desk? A physical card that they have to open. There is a huge difference when they have to open something. Mail gets opened, and now they have a memento. Why do you think I want to mail you the interview intervention book for as much as it costs me to send that to you? I want to be in your house. I want to be on your nightstand. I want to be in your bed. I want you to be thinking of me. I want you to come to the shows. Okay? That's different than if I give you what? A digital book. Okay. When you send your card, that's if you're early in the process and you want to make sure that you are differentiating yourself from the other people. Or if there's not a lot of candidates in the process and you're going along pretty well and you're coming down into a later stage in the process, email them right after the interview, drop the thank you card in the mail right away so that it gets to them, so it helps push you over the top toward the end. Plus you've developed more of a relationship with them. Now, what Carrie's asking is, what do I put in the handwritten card? Now, if you've done it later in the process, this is much easier because you want to say something casual but professional, and you don't want to repeat the money part that you put in your email thank you. So you want to reference something that is a little bit more personal. So perhaps you came and you interviewed with me and I was talking about the dogs, or I was talking about my triathlon, or I was talking about swimming, or whatever, you figure out something where we can bond. It could be work related, it could be personal related, anything. Say, I hope you're enjoying, I wanted to reach out, send you a little card, let you know how much I really, you do not have to follow the sequence that I've given you for the email. This could be a little bit more casual. Remember, the power in the handwritten card is the fact that you sent a handwritten card, and do not type it. Do not print it. Okay, this needs to be scribbled, even if your handwriting is illegible. So you want to send the card, say, hey, Andy, thanks so much again. I continue to enjoy this process. It's really nice getting to know the fact that you are a complete knucklehead and took on a triathlon that's way too long. And so far, I can't even imagine doing that or whatever. Just something that connects. Hey, next time I'm in such and such, I'm going to look up that restaurant you told me about. Whatever, something that connects, that you and that person can connect on in a little bit of a more casual nature, because the handwritten card is about building the relationship. It's about building the relationship. The reason, I'm going to go back to the book thing, I want you to have something physical of mine in your homes because that strengthens our relationship. Okay, I'm not talking about you need to buy something from me. I'm talking about it strengthens my relationship with people in the world who need my help. For you, it will strengthen your relationship with the job interviewers who need your help. And that handwritten card, I would make it as plain as, but do not have something with a lot of graphics. Do not have something with a lot of obnoxious stuff in it. When I sent thank you cards, they were about this size. Lift them. They had my name on the top or something, but something like that, and it was all white, and so I could use the whole thing if I needed to, or you could do it this way, or whatever. Carrie Freeman, you scored. Great question. I don't know. I don't think you're in the programs, so if you want the resume writing masterclass or the interview intervention program, it's on me. That's how we roll. Great question. Great question. All right. Let me see if I could sneak one more in here. Vita from new to Germany. Great to have you. If I'm trying to change careers, do you have any advice on how to understand the new choice is a good fit for me? I do. I'm going to point you to two, multiple various resources. First thing I would do, Vita, I have a video out there, how to choose the right job. Basically, it's how to choose the right job for me, but you can apply it to careers as well. That's the first thing. Second thing, I have a career changer playlist, a whole slew of career changing videos. I would arm yourself with that knowledge. The other thing, if you are interested, for any of you career changers, in the Job Search Bootcamp, I have a full-on career changing module. It's got the 4 stages of career changing that you have to go through. You cannot skip one. You need to go in sequence. There are 12 major steps that you need to do to change careers twice. How do I know this? It's the same formula I used to change careers twice. Once I was able to do it rather quickly. One time, well, you're still watching it right before your eyes. We're going through it. But it's really, really important. I don't go into that kind of detail in the public domain. But if you are on the fence about the Job Search Bootcamp and wondering whether as a career changer it will help you, it will. Because not only will you have all the tactics, but you're also going to get the specific instruction for your goal. Okay, so inside the boot camp, we don't just cover general job searching and the end-to-end structure, but we also have modules that are tailored to your demographic. Maybe you're a senior worker, or you're an executive, or something like that, or maybe your goal is different. You don't want to just change companies and keep the same job. You want to change careers. That stuff's in there too. There's a whole host of other specialty things. But that's a great question, and I would check out those resources. And for anybody who's considering the boot camp, that's something good for you to know. All right, Vita, I want to make just the announcement again. We are back tomorrow, okay? Same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Central in the U.S. At 7 a.m. in the morning, give or take, I think. I don't know if Kara's going to, somewhere in that hour, you're going to get an email from us with the goodie of the day. Tomorrow's goodie is my 65-point job search our job interview checklist. Very cool little multi-page download. Awesome. We don't give that away anywhere. You're going to need to be on my email list to get it. If you are not getting our emails and you want them, check your spam folder, your junk folder, your promotions or marketing folder if you're a Gmail user, because we have some issues there sometimes. But just keep an eye on it. You can always send an email to support@milewalk.com if you don't feel like you're getting them. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Thursday here. And if you're in the boot camp, I'll see you on Friday. And if you got any questions about the boot camp or any of the Mile Walk Academy programs, support@milewalk.com. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.